Okay, so today I would like to address something that is really bugging me. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of people across several social media platforms who think that it is okay to just throw the word witch or pagan around and use the terms interchangeably, even though they are two completely different things. Yes, it is possible to be a pagan and be a witch. Not all witches are pagans, not all pagans are witches. And I've also seen a lot of brands on Instagram, Facebook, shit like that, who throw pagan and Viking and heathen and witch on just random shit. And it's really offensive because paganism is a religion. Okay, there's many different types of paganism. There's Norse paganism. Then you've got like Hinduism, which is a form of paganism because they have multiple gods. Paganism is pretty much anything with multiple gods, you know? Whereas monotheistic shit like Christianity wouldn't be considered paganism. You have one God, okay? You can't just throw anything, you can't just throw labels on shit and try to sell things to people. Like, you can't just put pagan on any fucking thing. Like, it's just wrong. Like, my religion is not an accessory. It's not an aesthetic. It's not a trend. It is a way of life. It is a belief system. Like, you can't just pretend to sell that to people. Like, there was this one shop, like, you know, they requested to follow me, so I looked at them. They claimed to be a pagan home goods brand. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds great. Like, pagan-based shit for my home. Like, that sounds awesome. I was thinking, like, fucking signs with, like, runes and drawings and shit, or, like, brooms or whatever, things to bring into my house that would make it feel more homey, you know? Kind of like how Christians have, like, the 7-day candles or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's a jar candle. It's tall. It's got the Virgin Mary on it. And, you know, they have those. They have crucifixes. They have paintings of Jesus and what they think their God looks like. You know, they have that shit in their home. And pagans, we have shit that we put in our homes too. Like, me personally, I happen to be a pagan witch, and I have an altar, like, that I work at. It has my crystals and my candles and my books and my snake skins and my fucking deer antlers and whatever, and everything else. It's even got my little rune tiles. I cut the wood myself. I thank the tree for it. I would burn the little runes on them, you know. And I thought that was the type of shit that they would be selling. But then I saw that, and then I saw rosary beads, and I'm like, that's not pagan. There's Christian shit here. Like, what are you doing? You know, I immediately blocked them because I'm like, bitch, it is clear you are not pagan, because they literally said buy pagan for pagan. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what? That's cultural appropriation, okay? That would be like me getting some Rasta shit tattooed on me, knowing damn well I'm not a Rastafarian. Like, pretty much anybody can be any religion. I mean, you have to take it seriously, like, okay? Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be a Rasta so I can smoke hella weed. Did you know about their special diet, their vegetarian diet? Did you know about why they dread their hair? Do you know any of that shit? No? Okay, well, you can't just be a Rastafarian so you have an excuse to smoke hella weed. Like, that's not how that works. Oh, you sinned in one religion, or you killed somebody and you don't want to go to hell, so you just pick up a new religion. No, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. You can't just switch over belief systems because you don't want to be in trouble. Like, no. And you can't just throw a label or claim another religion because you want to be different or you want to be edgy. Like, if you don't really believe in it, then, like, nobody's gonna be mad if you don't believe in it. Like, nobody's telling you have to. But being a poser or lying about it, like, that's disgusting. Like, this isn't a trend. This isn't an aesthetic. Okay, this is a way of life. This is a belief system. This is people's lives. Okay? Paganism, for those fucktards who don't know, is several thousand years older. Like, just Norse paganism alone is several thousand years older than Christianity. Paganism as a whole dates back to about the time where there were people making cave paintings, okay? It's really, really fucking old. Christianity is a pretty new religion. It's only like about 1,000 or so years old. It's really not that old. Like that, and even the dates are all fucky and it's all over the place. None of the shit makes sense. But I'm not here to bash Christianity, okay? Like, I do that enough in my spare time. Like, I'm sorry, but if your entire belief system is built on bigotry and violence and hatred and sexism, I can't condone that. Like, that's fucking disgusting. Sorry, but it is. And I've read all the Christian religious texts that I could possibly get my hands on. My findings are all the same. It's fucking disgusting. I don't condone that. But anyways, that's just my beliefs. Do I hate people for being Christian and actively attack them and, you know, make them uncomfortable? No, I just stay the fuck away from them because I feel like I'm in danger every time I'm around them. But that's just because, you know, they slaughtered my people for hundreds of years for refusing to convert and conform, you know, but I have a reason to fear them. Like, they still actively commit hate crimes against pagans of all kind to this day. Like, they burn our homes and businesses. We don't burn your churches. We don't burn your houses. We don't burn your businesses. We stay the fuck away from them because, you know, we don't want nothing to do with you. So we stay away. But what pisses me off is like this one brand in particular. They said Nordcore, kind of like there's emo core. Like, no, it's either you're emo or you're not. Okay, like, and why are all these kids calling themselves emo? Like, I remember back in the day, like, if you said you were emo or someone thought you were emo, you'd get the shit kicked out of you. Like, when did that shit all of a sudden become cool? What? Like, I mean, good for you. You're comfortable in your own skin and your aesthetic or whatever the fuck, but, like, kind of just sounds like poser shit to me. But, like, the Nordcore, I'm like, okay, so you've turned the Nord way of life into a trend? And then I'm looking at it, it's all biker jackets and shit. I'm like, what does that have to do with it? Where's the hide boots? Where's the fucking bear skin? Where's the fucking tunics? Where's the fucking puffy shirts made of flax and wool? Like, where are those? You have no axes. You have no shields. There's nothing with runes of any kind. There's no pictures of any of the gods or goddesses. Like, what about this is Nord? What about this is pagan, like you say? Like, I feel like you're just trying to appeal to people who want to believe that they're different. It's like, honey, it's okay if you're a cookie cutter bitch. Like, I'm not saying being a cookie cutter bitch is a great thing. Like, I feel sad for those people because they're sheeple. They're sheep people. Like, they don't contribute to the world. Like, because they just do the same shit as everybody else. They do nothing different. But those people are still valid. Sad existence, but they're still valid, okay? You don't have to throw out a bunch of random crazy labels because you want to be different. Like, there's shit about you that already makes you different. Like, you don't look like anybody else. Even if you're a twin, you still never really look like anybody else. Or even if you are a twin, you don't think the same. You know, you don't act the same. Like, you are your own person. You're already different just by being your own individual person. Like, you don't have to offend others in the process of being different. You don't have to offend others in the process of finding yourself either. Like, if you feel like you are lost and haven't been found, like, you don't have to make an ass of yourself. You don't have to make a mockery of an entire group of people to find you. Like, you don't have to do that. It's just wrong. Like, I really did see this chick this one time. And, oh my god, I'm shaking. I'm so fucking mad. She got these runes tattooed on her. Now, the way that these runes work in pagan culture is they can spell things. You know, you can use them to write. That's our alphabet. But also, each rune has its own meaning. It stands for, like, they have their own meaning. Like, Uruz, that's the letter U. It kind of looks like an N. It stands for strength. Okay, there's also, like, plants and animals and gods associated with them. Like, there's even seasons associated with them. Flowers and shit. Like, there's so much shit associated with each rune. And I looked at her tattoo and I'm like, You know, and I was thinking, like, I was like, okay, clearly she's not going to try and write something English in a Proto-Germanic language. Like, if you're going to say shit with Elder Futhark runes, it would only make sense for you to spell it in Proto-Germanic, which it's really not hard to find out how to translate things from English to Proto-Germanic. There's plenty of resources out there. I don't have time to drop them all in the description, but when I get the chance, I will edit this for you. So I'm looking at it, and, you know, I typed this shit up, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't spell anything in either Proto-Germanic or English. Like, it doesn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, so that doesn't say shit. And then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, Uruz, Burkana, Sawilu, Ingwas. I'm like, Thuri says, I'm like, do you know what any of those mean? She's like, well, I mean, it looked cool. I'm like, it looked cool. Okay, so I'm totally gonna get a crucifix tattooed on me because my name's Togdratha, and it starts with a letter T, and a crucifix looks like T, so fuck it, I'm gonna just get one right fucking here because it looks cool. Or I'm gonna get a fucking Satanist star tattooed on my forehead because it looks cool, even though I'm not a fucking Satanist. Or I'm gonna get one of them Jew stars tattooed on me because it looks cool. Like, it also has magical properties to it, like that particular symbol means healing and abundance. Just pointing that out there. But I'm totally gonna get that tattooed on me because even though I'm pagan, I'm so fucking clearly Jewish, so I'm gonna put that bitch right there, knowing damn well I'm gonna offend so many people. Like, really? Really? That's disgusting! Like, cultural appropriation is never okay. Like, really? Really? Like, you don't know any history behind what you're doing. You don't know the meaning of what you're doing. You know it is a religious practice that you are tattooing on you, that you are writing, that you are posting about, that you are inviting into your home, but you don't practice that religion. You don't know anything about it. You don't know the history. You don't know the people. You don't know any of that, and you're just spewing your bullshit that you think you know what you're talking about everywhere, and it's like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, this bitch, I was like, can you even tell me what letter that is? I pointed to Uruz because it looks like the letter N, but it's really the letter U. And she's like, that's clearly an N. I'm like, no, that is a U. She's like, no, it's an N. I was like, no, it's a U. It says, like, bitch. And I pointed at Sawilu, and I was like, tell me what that is. Couldn't tell me what it was. And I'm like, I pointed at Thuri says. That is the, it makes the TH sound. It's the letter for TH put together. It's its own letter. And it stands for thorns, which you can interpret that how you want. I interpret it as protection, you know, like, some people don't pick roses because they have thorns. You know, they're for protection. And she couldn't tell me. I'm like, it says TH. I'm like, it's called Thuria says, and it means thorns. Okay. She's like, okay, well, now I know that one. And I'm like, bitch, I gotta cut that fucking tattoo off you. You're so dumb. Like, my point is, cultural appropriation is not okay. Like, for real. And I'm not just talking about, like, the pagan shit. I'm also talking about the witch shit. Like, you think you can go find a rock outside and be like, that's a nice rock. I'm a witch now. Like, no, bitch. It's about being one with yourself, with your spirit, being one with the earth, being one with the universe, being one with the stars and the birds and the grass and the dirt and the water. It's about being one with nature, being one with the whatever gods. Like, if you want to be a religious witch, like, like a pagan witch, like you can bring your gods into this. Like, you know, it can be a religious experience. Like Wicca, the whole religion is witchcraft, like, and being one with the earth and shit like that. Like, but you can't just buy a crystal or something and be like, I'm so a witch. Or like pick up some sticks in your yard and be like, I'm so a witch. Like, okay, we all pick up sticks in the yard. Like, you're just moving them out of your yard. Like, you're not bringing them inside. You're not consecrating them. You're not turning them into wands. You're not turning them into anything. You're just moving them out the yard. But because you picked up a certain stick before another certain stick, oh, you're a witch? What, the stick spoke to you? No, it didn't. You don't know if that stick spoke to you because you're not a fucking witch. Okay? And you can't just learn to be a witch. Like, no, you either are born a witch or you're not born a witch. You either have magic or you don't have magic. Like, it's not something that can just be learned. Okay? Like, that's like saying you can learn to be white. Bitch, I just woke up this pale. Like, I didn't wake up one day darker and be like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to look like mayonnaise. Yup, I'm gonna learn to look like mayonnaise. It's gonna be so fucking sweet. And then just, be pale, be pale, be pale. Wow, look who's pale. Like, that's ridiculous. You know how ridiculous that sounded? It sounded fucking absurd. Like, it's not something you can learn. It's something you either are born with or you're not. I'm not saying like you just are shot out your mother's cooter and then just all of a sudden you know what all the crystals are, all the herbs are, where all the stars are, what all moons are good for. Like, no. I'm saying you either have it deep down in you when you were born, when your soul is formed, or brought earthside again because it's already been formed. It's either with you from the start or it's not. It's not something that just comes out of nowhere. Like, you either have it from the time you were born or you don't have it at all. Like, I have always had this in me. I always knew I did. I didn't suppress it. I was like, okay, I feel some things that ordinary people don't feel. I deal with things ordinary people don't deal with. And when I looked into the shit that I was doing, I was like, oh my God, that makes sense. Like, I am a witch. And I was like, you know, that's okay. Like, I was like, I don't know what all this means for me, but, you know, it seems the right path for me to go in life and hasn't steered me wrong. So I'm like, you know, good shit happens. Even when bad shit happens, I make good shit happen. And when good shit happens, that's great. Bad shit happens, even better, because I'm growing. And I'm gonna grow through what I go through, and I'm gonna come out a better bitch on the other side. So, you know, like, witchcraft just is right for me. And you can't just learn that. You can't just go outside, get a walking stick, and be like, this is my staff now. Like, bitch, I know you're making jokes. Like, I know you don't genuinely mean that you can focus your energy into this object and use it to conduct. I know that you don't genuinely mean that, because you don't even know that that's how staffs work. So don't be like, oh my God, this is my staff, I'm Merlin now. No, you're not. Okay? You're still Becky. You're still Jenny. You're still Katie. Okay? Or you're still Darren. Or whoever. Like, you're not Merlin. You're not a witch. You're not special. I mean, you are special, but you're not like, have magic powers special, you know? You can't turn a sunny day into a rainy day and vice versa. You can't charm people's hairbrushes so that way every time they brush their hair, it shields them from negative thoughts. You don't have that kind of power because you're an ordinary person. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being an ordinary person. That's still a beautiful and wonderful thing. Like, don't ever think it's not. But you don't have to try so fucking hard to be different, because in the process, you're making an ass of yourself. You're spitting in the faces of people who, like, that is their whole lives. That is them. You're taking something special and turning it into something nasty. Like, really? Like, copying people, cultural appropriation is not fucking cool. Like, religions are not trends. They are not aesthetics. People's way of life is not a fucking fashion accessory. Okay? Like, It's just horribly fucking wrong, and it really needs to stop. Like, really? What's next? Are y'all gonna copy African tribes and do scarification in very specific patterns? I mean, y'all already get tribal tattoos. Like, bitch, you are white. Okay? Like, you look like mayonnaise. You have no reason to be getting Pacific Islander tribal tattoos. Bitch, you are not a Pacific Islander. You're not Hawaiian. You're not Polynesian. Like, why are you getting Hawaiian and Polynesian tattoos? You're not Hawaiian or Polynesian. You're fucking white. What the fuck? Like, you're gonna scarify your face now and your chest in certain patterns and be like, it's my way of life. No, it's not. You don't know anything about that way of life. Those aren't your people. Like, bitch, you're white. You look like a fucking saltine cracker. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You look like an asshole when you do that. Like, don't get me wrong, piercing, gauging, tattooing, scarification, branding, those are all forms of body modification. They're art forms now. But doing them in very specific ways that are specific to, you know, people's cultures, people's religions. Like, if you were purposely doing something that you know is a cultural or religious thing, and that's not a part of your culture, it's not a part of your heritage, it's not a part of your religion, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, you should not be doing that. That is offensive. And if you think that kind of shit is okay, like, that's disgusting. Like, it is never okay. Never okay. Like, that's pretty much stripping these people of their individuality and being like, you are an aesthetic now. You are a hashtag now. You are an object. You are a certain look. You are a certain sound. You are a certain feel. Like, no. These people are not brands. These people are not trends. These people are not aesthetics. Okay? These people are people. Okay? It's one thing to admire someone's culture. It is one thing to appreciate someone's culture. It is one thing to admire someone's religion, even if you don't personally believe that it fits you. Like, it is okay to admire it. Okay? Like, it is okay to appreciate it as well. But to appropriate it, that is disgusting. Like, you were dead fucking wrong for that. And you know it. And most of these people are like, I don't give a shit, it looks cool. And it's like, I really hope someone beats your ass. I really do. You know, in a lot of cultures, quite a few of them, like, if you get a tattoo, like, the same as them, like, and you're not a part of their culture, their tribe, whatever, like, they'll cut it off of you. Or, like, certain religions and cultures or whatever, like, you have to earn tattoos, and if you don't earn it and you get it anyways, they will cut it off of you or kill you because you have that. Like, I would love to see y'all go up to these people with your fucking tribal tattoos and your fucking mayonnaise skin and see if they don't cut it off you. See if they don't kill you for it. Like, there was this one culture in the Amazon, this one little tribe, where, like, they got face tattoos, like, for every person they killed in war. I think it was, like, a line for every person or a dot. They had a bunch of lines and dots. They had them in black, red, and then this blackish green ink. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like natural made ink. They don't have, like, tattoo ink, like you shake, pour out the bottle, and then bzzz. No, they make their own ink, and then they get, like, these pointed things on a stick, and then they take another stick, and then they tap it and make lines and dots and whatever. And that's how they do the whole tattoo for every kind of tattooing. It's all either single needle or mag drag, but with classic ancient stick and poke. Like, and they're very solid. Like, very solid. And it's like, she was like, she saw this reporter on this documentary, and she's like, did you kill somebody? Because he had some tattoos, and he's like, no. And she's like, because I've killed somebody. And he was just, okay. She's like, I had to go to war. Like, my babies were in danger. I couldn't let danger come home. And I'm like, I understand that. And her face was covered in lines and dots in different colors. It wasn't like a whole rainbow of colors. It was just black, red, and then this really dark blackish green. You know, those were the colors on her face. Or like the people who like the fake bones in the piercings, like in certain tribes all over, not all over the world, but certain tribes, like, they pierce things, and once it heals, they slowly stretch it with whatever they can get their damn hands on, and they keep it clean. Like, for some reason, like, even though they live in, like, the jungle or the bush or whatever, they don't have, like, sinks and shit and soaps like we do. Like, they're still like, keeping their piercings very fucking clean. I don't know how they do it, but, you know, I've never seen an infected piercing in the Amazon. Like, I haven't. I mean, y'all got random catfish thingies or whatever. It's some kind of fish that swims up people's pee holes. Like, they got that, but no infected piercings. Like, blew my damn mind. But, like, they'll stretch it and put, like, bones or quills or whatever in there. And it's like, that looks cool. Like, really does. But that is their thing. I don't know why they do it because I haven't studied them, like, all that much. But, like, I don't know why they do it. So I couldn't tell somebody, hey, like, I identify with that, so I'm gonna do that, like, because I know that that's fucked up. And, like, there's these body jewelry companies, like this is a tongue ring in my bridge. That's what you're supposed to wear in bridges. There's no, like, special bars for it, but there are special bars for, like, nipple piercings. They're much smaller, they hug the nipple, whereas you can't just throw a tongue, I mean, nipples are usually pierced with tongue rings to accommodate swelling. But then, once the swelling goes down or it stops crusting, then you change it out for nipple bars. They're specifically made to be worn in the nipple. Or like eyebrow rings. You can't put an eyebrow ring in your belly button. It's too small. It's too fucking small. You know? And just like belly button rings aren't meant for the lip. They're not. But, you know. But they're making, like, I saw this one company, they had bridge bars. And it was internally threaded. Internally threaded means that the bead screws inside the bar. Whereas shit like what I have on, like these, the bead screws into the post, whereas these, the ring screws into the bead. That's the difference between regular threading and internal threading. This was an internally threaded bridge bar that had, like, y'all know what molding resin is? It's this plastic shit, you heat it up, pour it into a mold, let it cool, and then pop it out. Ta-da! You make some really real looking shit with that. And they made, like, little resin bones that twist into the bar, and it looks like, depending on your features, looks like you stretched your bridge and put a bone in there, when really it's just a standard bridge bar with huge ass bead things on the end that look like bone. Or like this one septum taper thing, it looked like it was made of horn, but when you look at it, the inside is actually like, I think the smallest they had was like a 12, but like the outside it was like a very big thing. It looked like they had a horn in their nose, which some cultures do put like horns and bones in their piercings after they stretch them. And it's like, that's so fucked up. Like, so fucked up. I also don't agree with fake gauges. Like, if you're gonna do it, like, if you want the look, do it. Don't be a pussy. Like, posing in any way is just fucking wrong. Like, it's just fucking wrong. Like, really? Like, that's almost as bad as cultural appropriation. Like, cultural appropriation, that shit's not cool. That shit is not cool. But posing is also not cool. It's like just a watered down version. Like the kids out here running around with Nirvana band tees because they like the mustard smiley face, but can't name one fucking song. Even the 5 most popular ones from one album that play on the radio all the time. Y'all know what fucking album I'm talking about. They don't know the song Smells Like Teen Spirit or Lithium or any of that, and it's like, those are very popular Nirvana songs that play on the radio, and you can't even name those ones? What the fuck? Like, really? Or the bitches who get like the fake piercings to slip on, and it's like, really? Really? Like, why don't you just use, like, the Instagram filters or the Snapchat filters and, like, be like, let me see, would I look good with a bridge piercing? Oh, I kind of like that. Might get my bridge pierced. Let me, filter? Oh, yes, bitch. Whew. Looking at this filter, like, I think I'm gonna get my bridge pierced. And then, instead of being a pussy, get your bridge pierced instead of gluing beads on there. Okay? Or stop taking the balls off of ball closure rings and slipping them on. Like, you don't really have your lip pierced, bitch. Stop telling people you do. Or, like, there's these things that look like tapers. Tapers are shaped like nails. They get small and progressively get bigger. And then there's a flat end, which is the final size until you have to move up. This has the flat end to look like the gauge, and then the back end looks like the gauge. But when you put it in, it's actually the size of a normal earring. And it's like, how about instead of encouraging pussies to be pussies, you tell them to grow a fucking set and do it? Because with a lot of people, majority of people, you have until 00 before your ears will not go back. Mine will shrink, not back to normal, but they'll shrink. I'm at 1 3/8 of an inch right now. If I take these out and I leave them for like, I don't know, we'll say a week, they'll shrink back down to about a 1/2 inch, possibly smaller. Like, I also take really good care of my earlobes, so they will do that. I knew after a certain point, I was like, I know I want to continue. I know the consequences of my actions. I know once I get to a certain size, there is no going back. Unless I want to have them surgically repaired, which, no. I've spent 2 years of my life getting here. I'm not going back. Like, these are a part of me. I made that decision. Like, I thought that through. I made that choice. And it's like, if you have to wear fake shit because you cannot commit, you should not have the look without the commitment. Like my tattoos. Like, you think I just slapped some shit on me? Like, no. This came to me in my dreams for weeks and weeks, and I took it as a sign. And I was like, okay, tattoo. I got it tattooed on me, and wouldn't you know it, good shit started happening to me. Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs an owl tattoo for good shit to happen to you, but I'm saying if something comes to you in a dream, you should not ignore it. Because every time I've ignored shit from a dream, bad shit happens. But like my tattoos, those are permanent. Like, yeah, when it fades, you can get it covered up, you can get it lasered off. Laser removal sucks so hard. They're literally burning your skin. Like, you can smell your burning flesh. It stinks. And there's blisters and it hurts. Like, there's no numbing cream. They just kind of with the fucking thing, and then there's like black smoke coming off your skin, and it stinks. It stinks. And it's expensive. Like, for every $100 you spend on your tattoo, you're gonna spend $200 to $300 of every 100 to get it laser removed. Like, so I really had to think about this. Plus, I mean, tattoos are expensive. Like, they're not fucking cheap. So you should really think about what you're doing before you do it. Like, with anything. Piercings aren't super cheap. Like, I mean, yeah, if you get the plain jewelry, it's a lot less expensive than if you get the most bougie, expensive jewelry you possibly can. But you shouldn't get pierced with the super bougie shit anyways, because it's pussing, it's crusting, it's swollen, it's red, it's gross for like weeks to a few months before it starts looking good. And if you got this super bougie, intricate ring in your mouth, like, you're gonna have to sit there and scrub all these little crusts and slime and nasty shit off it, and bitch, you're probably gonna knock a stone or something loose, or scratch something, or bend something. Like, why get that? Like, why not wait for it to heal and then go get that one? Like, the fuck? I personally like the classic all titanium look. I'm getting these all changed over to titanium. I'm getting this changed over to dermals because my surface bar, I don't like surface bars. They hurt. It's shaped like this under the skin. It's not comfy. Like, some people are fine with them, but me personally, like, Mine is causing me discomfort, and I want to have it changed over to dermals. Dermals are pear-shaped anchors with holes in them, so that way the skin grows through them and holds it in place. And then there's just a little post, and the bead screws into the post. So they're all internally threaded. There's no such thing as a normal threaded dermal anchor that I have ever seen since I've been studying piercing at the age of 13. Like, never seen a regular threaded dermal anchor. Never a day in my fucking life. Not saying they don't exist, I'm just saying I've never ever seen one. Never seen one in a shop, never seen one on a person, never seen one in a piercing textbook, never seen one on the APP website, nothing. So, just saying, like, if you can't commit, then you don't deserve to look like that. If you can't make that commitment. Same thing with, like, all this cultural appropriation shit. If you can't commit to being a pagan, you don't get to have pagan shit. Okay? You don't get to surround yourself with pagan shit. Just like me. I'm not a Christian. I'm not gonna go buy one of them Mother Mary fucking candles or rosary beads or whatever. Like, there's no need for that. I'm not gonna hang a Jesus painting in my fucking kitchen, you know, like, because I don't need that. Like, why would I get that shit if it's not for me? If it's not something I believe in? Oh, because it looks cool? Be like, wow, this artist really, like, they did a great job on his hair. Like, them eyebrows are fucking on point, too. Like, no. That's not a good enough reason to have a fucking Jesus painting in my kitchen. And a fucking Virgin Mary candle. Why the fuck would I have a Virgin Mary candle? I already don't believe that fucking story. Like, honey, just admit you slept around. It's okay. Like, we've all had our heydays of being hoes. Like, nobody's gonna judge you, okay? We've all been hoes. Whether you like to admit it or not, you've been a hoe too. We've all been hoes. It's okay. Ain't gotta be a hoe forever, but we've all been a hoe at one point in time. So, you know, it's cool. But I wouldn't have one of them candles. You know why? Because there's a bunch of other candles that aren't offensive. Okay? Like, why would my pagan ass walk into a Christian store? I know they don't have anything I need. I know they don't have anything I want. So why would I buy their shit? When I know that there are other Christians who would appreciate that much more than I would. Like, if this artist has been working for a very long time on this painting of Jesus, you know, like, put blood, sweat, and tears into this painting, like, gave it his all, and it's a beautiful painting. I'm not gonna go and get it because it's a beautiful painting and it's very well done, because I wouldn't be able to fully appreciate all that there is. It's like, yes, I can appreciate the artwork and the talent and the craftsmanship that went into it, but that's not a good enough reason for me to have it in my home. When I know that there's some Bible thumper out there who would be so overjoyed to have this in their home, would be like, oh my gosh, they captured the Son of our Lord so beautifully, and I just... like, you know, shit like that. People really fucking act like that. Can you believe that shit? But there was someone who would literally be moved to tears to have that in their house. Why would I buy it when I know that they could? You know? Like, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. Like, that makes sense why there is fucking people who know nothing about Norse culture or religion out there buying fucking shirts that say Shield Maiden, or better to be a wolf of Odin than a lamb of God. It's like, bitch, do you even know what that means? Do you even know the story behind that saying? Like, the saying doesn't come directly out of the story, but it's talking about a very important story. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Or to just, you know, put on a bear skin and, you know, grab an axe and only wear pants, or, you know, end up running around in a naked rage and then call yourself a berserker. You're not a berserker, okay? You're a drunk white guy at a fucking music festival who has long hair. Like, come on now. You're not a berserker, okay? You don't have this unnatural bloodlust and this extreme need to protect and defend. Like, you don't go into a blind naked rage on the battlefield because you've never been on the fucking battlefield, bitch. Okay? You drank too much and you did too many mushrooms and you're tripping balls, but you're not really a berserker, okay? You're just high. You're intoxicated. You're not really a berserker. Or to take pictures like that and be like, berserker live. Like, no, bitch. No. Okay? Like, you did not invoke the spirit of the bear to give you its strength and its unchained fury when it comes to protecting what is sacred to it. Like, what the fuck? Or to put on the fucking wolf skin and the same shit. Because, you know, wolves and bears, they like fiercely and fearlessly protect and defend to the death with everything in them when it comes to their territory, their loved ones, their little ones. Like, they don't fuck around. Like, they're vicious. Like, unchained, blind fury is what happens when you poke the bear, when you fuck with the wolf. So that's why berserkers wear bear skins, wolf skins, and sometimes they would just be like so fucking in the zone from this rage that comes with defending what's yours that sometimes they just run around naked, like no fucking shield, just butt ass naked, no goddamn shield, just this fucking cloak skin and fucking shit up. But it's like, honey, just because you took a bunch of drugs or drank until there's more vodka in your blood than blood, that doesn't make you a berserker. Makes you an alcoholic. Okay? Like, cultural appropriation needs to stop. Posing needs to stop. They both need to stop. Cultural appropriation and posing are the same shit. Because, think about it. Posing is just pretending to be something you're not. That's pretty much cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation is pretending you're something you're not. Doing shit that you don't really believe in. Doing shit just because of the look. Okay? People's way of life is not a look. People's beliefs is not an aesthetic or a trend. That is extremely offensive. Like, it needs to stop. It's not cool. At all. And there's people out here making money off this shit. And there's actually feeble-minded sheep people who are just eating this shit up. They're like, man, if I buy an amethyst crystal, my house will be so fucking zen. Like, do you even know what zen means, bitch? Like, really? You bought an amethyst crystal because you wanted everything in your house to be A-okay. You don't know how to use the amethyst crystal. You don't know what the amethyst crystal does. Did you know that the amethyst crystal can cleanse other crystals? Did you know if you don't have a specific crystal for a certain spell or ritual, amethyst is a substitute. You can sub it in. Same thing with clear quartz. Because it's a blank slate, you just charge it with your intention and you can use it in the place of whatever crystal you're missing. Same thing with white candles. You can use them in place of whatever candle you're missing. Just charge it with your intention. Like, focus your energy into it. And then, ta-da, it works. That doesn't work for every fucking crystal, though. Like, I can't use a piece of rose quartz, which is used for, like, protection, prosperity, fertility, love spells, shit like that. I couldn't then use that for, like, protection. It's not meant for protection. Black tourmaline is used for protection. Onyx is used for protection. Obsidian? That's used for protection. I wouldn't then turn around and use obsidian for a love spell or an abundance spell. I could use it for protection spells, though. But I couldn't use it for the other shit because it's not interchangeable like that. Like, you can't just... Not everything in life is fucking interchangeable. Not everything in life is one size fits all. And honestly, that's the beautiful thing about life. You know? There's a lot of shit in life that it's like... will never be the same as anything else. Like, there are so many things in life that are like mandalas. You know, like the Buddhist monks, they make mandalas out of sand. Colorful sand like you put in the jars. But like they put it in bags with like different tips and nozzles and whatever, and like they tap it with sticks or pour it. It's crazy. They have all different methods, and they make these big, beautiful geometric images with this sand, and they sit back and they look at it for a while, and then instead of taking pictures of it or framing it or making sure nobody disturbs it, they pick it up carefully so they don't make a damn mess, and then they put it in the river. They return the sand to the earth from whence it came, because they admired the beauty while it lasted. You know, just like the fleeting moments in life. Just like the things that happen in life, the physical things in life that we get to hold, that we get to see. Not everything is permanent. Not everything will be the same twice. And that's what's so beautiful, is everything is so different. Everything is so different. That's why nothing will ever be one size fits all. And that's okay. Because what might fit me and doesn't fit you, there's other shit that will fit you so much better that will never fit me. And that's okay. Because not everything is meant for everyone. If it was, life would be so fucking boring. Life would be so fucking boring. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to step on people's toes and spit in people's faces and, shatter people's hopes for humanity in order to be different. You can be you, okay? You, as you are, not posers and cultural appropriators. Fuck y'all in the ass with a splintery broom handle sideways Monday morning at 6 in the morning. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like, everybody else though, like, you are beautiful just as you are, inside and out. Like, you don't have to try so goddamn hard. There's nothing wrong with you how you are. You are special how you are. You are beautiful how you are. You are perfect just how you are. You don't have to go out there and, collect a bunch of labels and shit and trinkets and be like, I'm so different now. Like, no, you already were different. You already were beautiful. You already were special. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you being who you are. You don't have to try and be everyone and everything else because you don't know you. Get to know you. If you don't know you, get to know you. Take some time with you. Talk to you. Listen to you. Feel you. Experience your feelings. But don't let them control you. Let them come. Welcome them in. But know that they cannot stay forever. They have to go. Just like the moments in life. They come, we experience them, and then we let them go. Because it's time for the next one. Like, you can't hold on to everything. And that's okay. That is okay. But get to know you. If you don't know you, nobody else is going to know you. Like, you have to get to know you. And that's okay. Sometimes we have to get lost in order to find ourselves. And that's okay. And so what? You might lose a bunch of shit on the way. But if you lost it, you weren't meant to have it. And that's okay. You're just getting rid of excess baggage, and you'll see that down the road. But for now, you need to lighten your load. You need to lighten your heart and your soul and go find you. Because you can't be everyone and everything else. Because one, that's tiresome. And two, you look like a jackass. And three, that's not really you. You can't be everyone and everything. It's not feasible. It's so tiring. Like, and you would be so confused. Like, find you. Find you. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's not the easiest thing in the world. But you know what? Growth and change and finding yourself, it's like being the marble and the sculptor. It's painful, but it's worth it. And it is beautiful. It's worth doing. So if you don't know you, instead of being an asshat, go find you. Don't be an asshat. Don't be an asshat. Just go find you. Get in touch with you. Learn about you. Love you. Like, nobody's gonna do that for you. You have to do it. Like, now put your big boy, your big girl, or your big other person in between britches on. Okay? Get your shit together and go find you. Okay? Because what you think you've been finding all along is a bunch of bullshit that doesn't really fit you. Okay? You can't pick up a new religion through some hashtags on Instagram. Okay? You can't adopt a new way of life or a brand new you by buying some pointless shit. Like, because whether you like it or not, all the shit you buy, like all the shit you find, when you die, you can't take it with you. So it's pointless to collect a bunch of shit that you don't really value. It's pointless to collect a bunch of shit that isn't really you. Okay? Because then You just have a house full of bullshit. A room full of bullshit. Walls covered in bullshit. Tables covered in bullshit. Fucking shelves covered in bullshit. Tables covered in bullshit. Like, you don't need a house covered in bullshit to be complete. Okay? Like, you don't need to follow some trend to be complete. And like I said so many fucking times throughout this video, religions are not trends. They're not. So stop. Like, I'll smack you. Swear to I'm a knock that shit off. Now that I done smack some sense into you, there you go. Okay, all better. See? Now that you got some sense, okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, like, you don't have to buy a bunch of shit, follow hashtags, or support fake-ass stores to find you or to be supported. Because you can support other cultures and religions and appreciate them as well without appropriating them and making yourself look like a fucking jackass. Because then you also make all those people, you make them look dumb. You're mocking their way of life, their traditions. Like, you're making a mockery of what makes them them, and that's disgusting. Like, don't do it. Okay? Because they wouldn't do that to you. You know why? Because they already know they're special and great. Like, I think the main reason people do this is because they don't know how to appreciate the beauty of others without undermining their own, without devaluing their own. You can appreciate the beauty of others without devaluing your own. Like, it's really not hard. What makes them special and beautiful, them as a whole people, you know, you can interpret that however you want, whatever group of people is in your mind. You can appreciate what makes them beautiful without making what makes them beautiful into something generic and cheap and an aesthetic or a hashtag. Don't make these people into a trend. Don't make these people into a hashtag. These are people. Okay? Like, and you can be beautiful on your own. Like, what makes them beautiful is what makes them beautiful. But don't lose sight of the things that make you beautiful on your own, inside and out. Just like they have things that make them beautiful, inside and out. You can appreciate that without copying it and losing sight of what makes you so special. Okay? Because I know that some people are like, there's 7 billion people on this planet. Like, nothing is special. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. You are special. You are beautiful. Even if there were 10 people who look just like you, their minds aren't the same as yours. Their hearts aren't the same as yours. Their soul is not the same as yours. They don't experience things how you experience things. They don't see things through your eyes, even if they're the same fucking color. Nobody will be able to feel how you feel. Think how you think. You know, experience things how you experience. See things through your eyes. Hear things the way you hear them. Nobody. And that in itself is beautiful. Like, you don't have to lose sight of that. And it's sad to see that so many people do. Like, it really is. It's like, wow. Wow, you really don't know how special you are. You really don't know how beautiful you are. Like, just your existence. Like, even if you don't do anything great, you breathed. You lived. You survived today. Like, that's already special. That's already beautiful. Like, there's people who are born who don't even have a fucking chance as soon as their goddamn cord is cut. Like, there are kids who are born premature and die in those little incubator thingies. Like, but you didn't. You survived. You are stronger than you know. You are more precious than you know. Like, you don't have to be other people to be special. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Stop being a poser.